And in order to get everything in one line, I'm going to select this whole form, which is, if we take a look at how this form is structured, you can see this is all wrapped by a div element, and then the whole elements are in this form div element. Now this is the way Webflow pre-built this element. And we can select the different elements and give them classes and styling. So I'm going to select this div element which wraps all these other elements, and I'm going to give it a class name. Let's call this one get guide form. And I'm going to change the display to flex. This brings everything in one line, and let's make sure that they are all centered. And then let's style these different fields. So the first thing, I'm gonna make these two field labels. I want them to disappear. However, instead of just deleting them, I'm gonna set the visibility to 0. And the reason why I'm doing this is that for people with disabilities, reading disabilities, there are screen readers which then can read out the different form fields. And in order for these screen readers to be able to read out these form fields, they need to have these field labels. Although I don't want to display them, we want to have them still around so that these forms work on screen readers, which can read out these form fields. And in order to make them disappear, I'm going to give them a class of hidden label. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to set the font size to 0. This makes them still present, but you can't see them actually. So the next thing I'm going to do is, of course, the user now needs to know what these fields are. So I'm going to enter your name, set it to required, and the same applies for the email address. And then let's make these form fields a bit shorter. So again, let's give them a class. So I'm going to call them get guide text field. And let's make them maybe 200 pixels wide. Same applies to this one. Get guide text field. And then we want to make sure that they are as big as the button, because right now this looks a bit off. So let's play around with the height. Let's try 45 pixels. This looks a bit odd. Let's see what's going on here. I think we might have some padding somewhere here. There you go. You can see on the form field, on the text field, there's some padding. That's why everything is pushed up. So let's remove this padding, set it to 0. And now they are almost the same size. I think we can make this form field slightly bigger in order to, let's try 47. Yeah, I think this is quite good. Should work. And let's see if there's any padding on the button. No. Okay, and the last thing I want to do is I want to create some space, more space here. So I'm going to give them on the right hand side some margin of 20 pixels should work. Now maybe we can push everything down a bit more. Let's give this some more margin, and also at the top. So we create some more space here. And then let's create some more space at the bottom. And for that, I want to recycle again a class we created early on. And I just need to double check the name. Remember when we said we want to have some additional spacing here at the bottom, and we just called this class bottom padding. So let's recycle this class in the get guide section. Since the section we are currently using only has a padding of 100, and if I were to apply some margin here or padding here, it would affect all the other sections using the same class. So let's apply the second class, bottom padding, and that pushes everything down. Now we have some padding of 100 as well at the bottom. Now the last thing I want to do is I want to add a footer element to this page. And we don't need the get guide section here because we are already on that page. So it's a bit over the top if we were to add it here again. There's no benefit of that, but a footer is certainly good. And now let's preview everything. And I think this looks already pretty good. Now the next step is actually hooking that up to MailChimp. Let's get going with that.